But when I sit on here this morning, again, I can't take the smile off of my face. Again, I've sat there and watched a West Ham related incident and just nearly burst into tears. I could not believe what I was watching last night. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. You join us live, well, not live, you join me, sorry, for a reaction to what we saw last night, where West Ham fans went in their true numbers. There isn't like a sort of correct estimation, but the police, the West Ham police force on Twitter have said he's read that there's some estimates of over 100,000 West Ham fans lined the streets of East London through Upton Park through to Stratford in the old town hall there. And I mean, we were on the BBC News, we were on the Sky News, and I managed to watch the majority of it on my laptop on the sort of BBC News website, and then they put it on the TV on the BBC News channel for a while, and on Sky News as well. It was just exceptional, and it was a moment for all of the fans that couldn't be in Prague to say their thanks and give and show their appreciation for the team. But there's a fair few that did manage to get back from Prague in time, which I say fair play to you. I know Rich Dodds managed to get back. Absolutely brilliant work. And I mean, there's still 20,000 West Ham fans in Prague we're here. And there was yet again another party in nightclubs and bars in Prague last night. And it's just, we're everywhere. And John Ratomski came on live from Prague on the BBC News live stream. And, that was good to see him on there as well. And just every single one of the players looked like they were enjoying it, and I couldn't quite believe the numbers there actually. And at a point where they had to turn off near Upton Park, they had to sort of like turn and take a right, where I didn't think the bus was going to get through there. There were so many people there. I thought it was actually quite dangerous, to be honest with you, because the bus was literally only just squeezed through because there was people absolutely everywhere. We completely lined the streets pretty much from about 5-6 o'clock yesterday evening till gone 10 o'clock last night. We completely took it over. I've read that fans took the trip from Devon, Southampton, all over the place down south and up north to see this trophy parade. And of course, people rushing back from Gatwick, Heathrow, Stansted, the border from Dover to get back to, be part of the heroes' welcome as well. And it gave me goosebumps. It did, the whole part of it. There was the Range Rover pumping up music. And it was predicted to take an hour, that 2 mile route from Upton Park to Stratford. And I think it took about an hour and a half at least at the end by the time they got there and up on the stage at the town hall. And from Tilo Kehrer taking over the microphone on the bus and on the stage as well, singing Irons and West Ham are massive. People like Piqueta really enjoying himself, Zuma as well. It was just such an incredible night, and all the pictures we were getting through. This sums up. That's just like one of the groups in the squad. Just look like they're absolutely loving it. Emerson as well. And one thing that touched me quite nicely was the sort of singing "One More Year" Declan Rice. The players. I mean, there's a live stream that they were doing on Instagram. I think it was Emerson, and there's about 3 or 4 players joining along with the fans singing "One More Year" Declan Rice. That man didn't look like a man that wants to leave this football club. If it wasn't for David Sullivan yesterday, I think there's a lot of fans that would believe that he'll stay at this football club. There's still a few that mentioned it on Twitter last night. I've got a funny feeling, and to be honest, I can't blame them for having that funny feeling, because Declan Rice probably had a few too many to drink over the last 24 hours, but he came onto that stage last night again and thanked us all, and it didn't look like a man that was ready and leaving this football club. And maybe it's because he has to leave. I don't know. But one thing is for certain, I hope it's not David Sullivan pushing Declan Rice out of this football club because he wants the money. Because if it is, that's the last straw for David Sullivan for many West Ham fans. If that last straw hasn't already been pulled, I just hope that's not the case, because that would absolutely be pathetic. And Declan Rice again, he came on. We are the only club to be live on the BBC News channel, and Declan Rice pick up the microphone from Chris Go and go. You know what we are? We're effing massive. A bloke on the BBC. Once again, apologies for the language from Declan Rice. They are all very excited. He did it again 5 minutes later. It was absolutely brilliant. Top tier trolling, of course. And it just looked like they were all having the time of their lives as well. And David Moyes, with his sunglasses on, lifting up the trophy, he said it's his best moment in his managerial career, and you could tell he was enjoying it as well. You could tell the relationship and that sort of bond is back with the fans again. He was enjoying it. He was soaking it in, as was everybody. You know, it was just truly exceptional from the aerial views we got from a drone, like just the complete, like all the roads, all the just everywhere was just West Ham fans, and you know the amount of people waiting in that town hall. There was thousands there because it went back a long way. That sort of huge sort of crowding, and I think that just shows how big we are. There's still 20,000 West Ham fans in Prague estimated, and we still managed to bring. I mean, some people are saying 100,000 plus to line the streets of East London to welcome back, to welcome back our heroes, and that's what they are. And I think, I think it just sums up our fan base, sums up the players, and sums up where we are at the moment, because people have denied the Europa Conference League. People have said it's the Papa John's Cup, and to be honest, it's getting a bit tiring. And I think it's more jealousy than anything. The amount of Spurs fans I've seen taking the mick, the Conference League is laughable. They haven't won a trophy for 15 years. Let that sink in. And they sort of say that. I don't like the narrative that, oh, you just play farmers in this league. Well, Villarreal were in this competition before they got knocked out in a brilliant game, as did Lazio. So, it's not just for the farmers. And, there are still some farmers next year in the Europa League. I've seen the pots. I've seen there's a couple of teams from like Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan. I've seen that. So it's not just in the Conference League. Some of these bed through into the Europa League as well. It's not just a Papa John's Cup, because in the Papa John's Cup, you don't then go on, if you win it, to play in the Europa League, which everybody suddenly respects. I don't understand the narrative of it. I really don't. They say, oh, well, it's only been around a couple of years. Well, the Champions League was, at one stage was only around a couple of years. Were you all dismissing it then? I I don't understand the logic of it. I really don't. There's some fans that have been brilliant that want us to win. Man City fans as well. We wish them luck now on Saturday. Hopefully they go and beat Milan, and we can do the European Cup double. Man City and West Ham. How good would that be? Newcastle fans, Leeds fans, Everton fans, Villa fans, a few I've seen wish us good luck as well. And you know, it all comes down to the other clubs in this league. And yes, the Europa Conference League probably doesn't appeal to the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, and all these sort of teams. I'm not having that Spurs can't be in it, because Spurs, they get trolled on a daily basis for not winning a trophy for nearly 6,000 days, as a football club, and they're part of the Big Six. So, it's very much for Spurs. But, as well, clubs like Villa getting in there, it's what it's all about. And, Villa would have done a similar thing to what we did last night. They've got a brilliant fan base as well. It's about giving the clubs that don't have the financial input, that don't have the ability to get to the dream of playing in the Champions League, and even getting into the Europa League. Brighton have lived that dream, but I do feel for a side like Brighton next season. They've already let McAllister go. I don't think the window's even open yet, and he's already signed for Liverpool. It's barely open, and he's signed. And I just hope that they've got the ability to keep it up Thursday, Sunday, which I've got doubts about, to be honest with you. So, it's about giving other fans that experience we've had over the last 2 years, because there's none other like it. The European away days are just absolutely exceptional, and we're so lucky to be going on them again in the Europa League. So, if we go and win that, it's at Dublin next year. Oh, what an away day that will be in Dublin for the final. But now, getting a little bit ahead of myself there. But people can't dismiss the Europa League then, and even if we finish third in the group of the Europa League, we go back down to the Conference League and we can win that again. So, it's a win-win here, isn't it? As long as we don't finish fourth in the group. But yeah, in terms of a trophy parade, some of the pictures, West Ham fans just absolutely exceptional, giving the heroes welcome. It put a tear in my eye. All of those fans, the players, the backroom staff, really just soaking up the atmosphere, soaking up the occasion, and that's what it was all about. I had fears about whether there'd be that many people there because of the sheer amount of people that are still in Prague, but West Ham fans, they never disappoint. We still filled it out. Imagine what it would have been like if we did it on Saturday and Sunday, when we've got all those fans back from Prague as well. It would have been absolute mayhem. But what a way to end off A truly special week for West Ham. I'll join you for a Monday morning chat on Monday morning, of course, and some sort of content over the weekend as well. But it's just been a truly exceptional pinch me week. Honestly, I've had such a good week. Um, probably the probably the best week of my life. West Ham have won a European trophy. West Ham have won a major trophy for the first time in 43 years, and it hasn't quite sank in yet. It hasn't quite. I just still can't believe it's real. It's not really materialised with me yet that it's actually happened. I cannot believe it. And that trophy parade last night, it's the way West Ham fans do it. Kara on the microphone, Moisey on the microphone, Rice as well, all just soaking up the atmosphere. And the question I pose now is, does Declan Rice look like a player that wants to lead this football club? We'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like and subscribe. What a trophy parade that was last night. Truly exceptional being able to watch that. And we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.